You are actually going to feel your worst when you are in fact looking your best. Physique-wise, I'm talking about having a very low body fat level. Now, I feel I'm pretty qualified to answer this because I actually stayed at a 7% body fat for a little over 2 years. Back in the early 2000s, I did a lot of advertisements for a lot of fat burners. If you remember reading magazines back in the early 2000s, chances are you have seen my pictures in a lot of these fat burning ads. Now, why did I do it? Well, obviously, a lot of these companies were actually paying me because they felt I had a specific physique structure that targeted a lot of the mass public. I'm not a big guy. I'm not a very scrawny guy. I just have this physique that appeals to a lot of these advertisements related to fat burners. And I know how to transform my body in record time. Take a look at these pictures. They're within a 4-month time frame. So if a supplement company would tell me, can you get shredded in 3 to 4 months? I can actually do it. And believe it or not, I still eat whatever I want. I do not go on a severely restricted diet. Now, I do restrict my calories because that's the only way you are gonna lose body fat, but I still eat ice cream, I still eat bagels with cream cheese, pretty much whatever I enjoy because, well, I enjoy it and my body handles it very well. I do not have any digestive issues. I can eat bread. I know a lot of people out there, they're gonna tell you that bread is poison, carbs are poison, all that stuff. They claim that whenever they eat carbs, they feel bloated and all that stuff. Well, I'm turning 47 next month and I never had these issues. I wake up in the morning feeling amazing and that's it. But let's get back to the topic, why you are going to feel worse. Now, take a look at these pictures, all right? To a lot of people, this is their goal physique. This is what they wanna look like, right? However, it does come at a cost. Now, when you are that lean, the body is always fighting for survival. That means that you're not gonna be feeling your best mentally because you're not getting enough nutrients. Now, even though you are getting enough calories, it's not how many calories you're eating. It's how many calories your body actually thinks it consumes. Like, what do I mean by that? Let's say you are eating 2,000 calories a day, but you're doing cardio for 2 hours a day and you're burning off a lot of these calories, then you're not eating 2,000 calories a day. Your net calories are going to be more like 800 to 900. And if you are gonna be doing resistance training, it's going to be even lower. So I got that lean because I was doing a lot of cardiovascular activity. I was doing a lot of biking. I love doing mountain biking. I love walking, but my calories stayed at 2,500. However, based on the cardio activity I was doing combined with resistance training, my body was in the minuses. This is how I was able to have such low levels of body fat. Now, like I mentioned, when you have this level of body fat, your brain will not function very well. So in other words, you're actually going to feel dumb. Believe it or not, having a very low body fat level makes you feel dumb and it actually lowers your IQ. There's been a lot of times where I actually missed stop sign. I went through red lights. Like I wasn't thinking straight and this went on for 2 years. Eventually, the body is going to adapt to it. You are going to feel better, somewhat better, but your energy levels are never going to be at their highest compared to when you have a 12 to 15% body fat. Now, right now I sit at between 14% body fat. I'm not sure exactly how much, and you know what? I don't really care because I go by how I feel. But when I was at 7% body fat, your energy levels are going to be low practically all day, but you get used to it. Now, a lot of people, they're gonna counteract that by having a lot of caffeinated drinks, energy drinks, and even though right now you see a lot of these influencers who have a very low body fat level, do not think they're feeling amazing. They like to pretend they're feeling amazing, but they are going to feel much better at a higher body fat. Your joints are going to hurt. They're going to ache. I remember when I was climbing up the steps, at a point I went down to a 6% body fat and I had to stay there for 2 weeks because there was a screw up with my photo shoot and I had to stay at 6% for another 2 weeks until everything gets straightened out again. And I was climbing up the steps and my joints were killing me. I cannot wait to start eating food again. Speaking of food, when it comes to your eating habits, Doesn't matter what you're eating, whether you're eating ice cream, pizza, keto diet, when your body fat gets to that low level, you are going to feel starvation. You're going to crave pretty much anything. You're going to crave carbs. And if you are gonna be eating, you're gonna be eating the food so fast. Basically, you're gonna be telling yourself, how the hell did I eat so fast? If you noticed one thing when you are dieting, you eat food a lot faster because your taste buds are so sensitive at that point. A piece of lettuce actually tastes good. Cucumber tastes amazing. Eating something like carrots tastes like you're eating dessert. And I'm not making this up. That's what happens when you are dieting. Everything is amplified. And then if you are gonna have a cheat meal, like a cheesecake, a burger, a pizza, your body's gonna start getting goosebumps. It's gonna start shivering because you're getting such a dopamine rush. This is the kind of rush people get if they take recreational drugs. So if you're deprived for such a long time and you eat your favorite cheat food, you're gonna get a very similar feeling to someone who's taking recreational drugs in the brain department, because your dopamine's gonna go up, your acetylcholine's gonna go up, norepinephrine's gonna go up, your serotonin's gonna go up. All the feel-good neurotransmitters are gonna be elevated and you are gonna feel amazing. However, it doesn't last, because if you get back to eating regular foods, you're going back at a maintenance diet, you're gonna stop getting that. But however, you are going to experience that. Now imagine experiencing that for 2 years, because this is exactly what I had to do. Now it wasn't fun. It wasn't a lot of fun in games. However, you do look your best. You're walking around looking like a sculpted statue. People want to ask you questions. They want to take a picture with you on the beach. You feel like you're someone. You feel like you're a celebrity. Even though you're a no one, you feel like you're a someone, because everybody wants to look like you at that point. And back then, I had a personal training business, which actually helped a lot. Your physique is your best form of advertising. And sometimes people are going to make that sacrifice to look their best, to have a very low body fat level, even though they are not feeling their best. They're gonna take a lot of supplements to try to counteract the effect, whether it's fat burners, extra creatine, energy drinks, a lot of caffeinated drinks. Now, if you are at 12 to 15% body fat, which is what I am right now, I fluctuate between these numbers, you don't need to take nothing, and you are going to be feeling good because you're giving your body what it actually needs. Now, after a little more than 2 years, I started eating normal again, and this is where it gets interesting. I swear within 2 weeks, you're going to gain 20 pounds, and that 20 pounds is not going to be fat. It's not even going to be water retention. It's going to be a lot of your glycogen stores that are being filled up. And I looked so full when this happened, but psychologically, I felt so much better. I felt so much sharper. I felt like my brain was rejuvenated once again. I actually felt so good. I went and started 2 new businesses because I just felt so good. I had so much energy. So basically, when I started eating regular again, putting on more body fat, my life went so much better because of how much better I felt. It just makes sense. So ever since then, I fluctuate between 12 to 15%. Occasionally, I am gonna go down to 10%, not because I want to, it's because my metabolism is fast and sometimes I just don't feel like eating. I have a very poor appetite, and as I got older and older, I'm actually turning 47 next week. My metabolism is faster than it's ever been back in my 20s. I don't know why everybody's metabolism slows down. My metabolism actually stays elevated. I actually have to slow down on the cardio, even though I enjoy doing cardio, because I just don't feel like eating 3,000 calories a day every single day. Back in my 20s, I can eat much less and, not having to worry about losing weight. So I don't know what happened. Maybe the fact is, if you stay lean for so many years, I guess your metabolism speeds up. I'm not sure. I can't really explain it, but I've met people who are in a similar situation as me. Once they get older, they feel they have a harder time gaining weight and they feel they need to eat more. Yes, there are going to be other people who are going to mention the opposite, but I'm just mentioning what I'm experiencing right now. So if you are planning on getting ripped and staying ripped, it depends what your definition of ripped, because you could be 10 to 12% body fat and still have a six-pack. However, if your goal is to have striated delts, striated chest muscles. That is not sustainable. And if you want to sustain that, you're gonna feel like complete shit. Your energy is gonna suffer. Your work's gonna suffer. If you're running businesses, your businesses are gonna suffer because you're going to feel dumb. You're not gonna have any energy. That's going to extreme single-digit body fat. If you are gonna go at 10% body fat and above, you are going to feel good. However, from my experience, you're going to feel your best when you go at 12% and above. Even at 16%, 17%, it's still enough to feel amazing. So I'm just sharing my experience when I had such a low body fat level, and I kept it off for 2 years. Would I ever do it again? Hell no. I would never get down to a 7% body fat ever again, because the torture you have to endure to stay there for 2 years, it's one of the worst I have ever experienced. Like I said, you feel amazing. Everybody is looking at you. You look amazing. However, you feel like complete shit and you just want to go back to eating. Thank you for watching. I'm off to eat.